thing I like about the millennials is you guys are at least aware you're being screwed.
But also we've grown up in an age, right? Like I always say, like every baby boomer I know grew up without the internet at first. And so what they were told was the truth, right? My entire generation has grown up with the internet. And so every time somebody told us something, we could go to the supercomputer and say, hey, is this really true? What you realized was a lot of the news was fake, right? On both sides of every story. And so what you started to do was you started to question all of the mainstream narrative. And what that led you to was this belief that if I truly want to be free, if I truly want to do what is best for me, I have to be an independent thinker. I have to go and be intellectually curious. I got to go get my own information and make my own decisions.
America we're broke. When I came out of the military, we're at about 30% debt to GDP. So we could have, that's like you make $100,000, but you paid $30,000 to the bank. Today, it's 140% debt to GDP. That means you're making $100,000, but you owe $140,000 every month. And America is broke, and the baby boomers are still living in that time when we were 30% debt to GDP. So it's not the same world anymore. They've been lied to, but they're not even aware they're being lied to, and they think the Bitcoin guys are crazy. What this Corona crisis represents is we're going into a brave new world. And I don't know if you guys follow this, but we were on the edge of recession prior to January 2020. I didn't foresee quantitative easing and zero interest rates. I didn't foresee how desperate our leaders are, the Federal Reserve Bank, the Treasury, Wall Street, and even putting students in debt. I cannot believe how desperate people are. Many people, in my world, they say, well, it's going to be a V bottom, means a crash comes and it goes straight up. I don't think so. Next one will be, it goes a U shape. I don't think so. And then there's a W, it goes down, up, down, up. I don't think so. I think it's going to come down and go L. What most people don't understand about financial education, because in 71, I was coming on my way to Vietnam, and that's when I kind of woke up. We're coming off the gold standard, and the average guy had no idea what that meant, and that's the problem. So the thing I know about this is when they say quantitative easing, what you're talking about, only people that get the money are rich people. You see, with quantitative easing, you must go through the banking system. So I've been broke many times, and when I had no money, the banks close their doors to you. So I don't think it's black. I think if you're financially illiterate, the banks will close the doors to you. So every time they print money, the money gets trapped in what's called the monetary system. Only the rich get richer, and the poor and middle class get poorer because, temporarily there's inflation. And the inflation is in the asset markets. So Bitcoin went up, real estate goes up, stock market goes up. But I feel for the guys working in my yard because they violate Rich Dad's lesson number 1, don't work for money. You've got to work for assets. So this is the next thing I'm going to ask you a question on, you see, because as long as you guys are kind of pissing off the central banks and they keep printing money, guys like me get richer and richer. I just borrowed another $160 million. The average guy can't even get a credit card. Well, they got student loan. That's all they can get. And that's why they get poor, because of the school system. If Bitcoin, you guys keep pissing people off and we go to Fedcoin, you know what's going to happen? Hyperinflation. I don't know if you understand money, but there's only 4.5 trillion in base money, M1. There's about 225 trillion in debt. That means there's only 4.5 trillion for 225 trillion in debt. The machine's going to stop soon. I don't know when, but it's going to stop. And when it comes to a stop, that's when my gold, silver, and Bitcoin will go through the roof.
Before we continue, help us by smashing that YouTube like button and subscribe now to this channel. This shows the algorithm that you value the information, and it helps us spread this message. Sharing is caring. Please like and subscribe now. Thank you. And now, let's continue.
They're going to give money directly to the people via UBI, Universal Basic Income, MMT. It's called welfare. It's also called Social Security. It's also called Medicare. But they're going to, if they go to Fedcoin, like China's going to the China coin, if they go to that, that's why you're going to wish you had some Bitcoin, gold, silver, and bullets, because there will be civil unrest. They're going to steal our wealth, but they're going to pump the money directly into the people. And that's what they did during the Weimar Republic, which brought rise to Adolf Hitler. And Kamala and Adolf have the same values. It's reparations.
We've got a Bitcoin alert, the cryptocurrency crashing again right now as China calls for tighter regulation around mining and trading. The headline taking down the rest of the crypto complex. Bitcoin is now down more than 20% since Monday. We also get the Biden administration in one of its proposals saying that if Bitcoin is used in a transaction that's greater than $10,000 worth, then it has to be reported to the IRS, which would make it difficult for Bitcoin to be used for larger transactions.
There's no doubt in my mind they're going to launch a digital dollar, right, or Fed coin. And what people need to understand is two things. One, it is no different than what the dollar is today. It's the same monetary policy, just in a new technology format. And all that means is now they have more controls than they had previously.
Right.
And the second thing is that if they launch a Fed coin, it is going to force everyone to get a digital wallet. And when they get everyone on digital wallets, more and more capital is going to flow to the soundest, hardest money. And so therefore, what is actually going to happen is when they launch FedCoin, they're going to think that it is going to be a response to Bitcoin as a decentralized digital currency, but it's actually going to accelerate the adoption of that digital decentralized currency. And I think they know that. I think that's why they're actually not being so aggressive with it. But what people are not ready for is a world where the federal government actually has more power than they have now over the monetary supply. So here's two ideas for you. The first is China already ran this experiment. What happens when the US says, hey, we're going to give out a $1,200 stimulus check? By the way, you have 7 days to spend it. If you don't spend it, it expires. When you can actually put expiration dates on the money. When you can tell people we're going to give you this stimulus check, but you can only spend it in certain places. All of a sudden, you hand that to millions and millions and millions of Americans. It's not so good. The second thing is what happens when they start to personalize monetary policy. They say, Robert, you know what? You've got lots of assets. You've got great income. We're actually going to allow you to experience higher levels of inflation. But you know what? That person that is down the street, they're going to experience medium level of inflation. And we're going to start personalizing the level of inflation or the monetary policy that you have because we can. Your music playlist is personalized, your Google Maps, your Uber and Lyft, your Google search results, everything in your life that is on a keyboard is personalized. Why is the money not? It's because they previously haven't had the technological ability to do it, but now they do. And so when you start to think through this and you say, wait a second, are they going to personalize monetary policy? Are they going to get more control? Are they going to get more surveillance capabilities? This is not going to be a net positive for most people. It's actually going to be a net negative. And it's going to push more and more people into this digital decentralized world of Bitcoin.
What to do in such a situation? Inform yourself and keep your financial education strong. We from the Compact Group offer our loyal subscribers a free educational portal with first-hand monetary, financial, and economic knowledge. Enter our invite-only Insider Club by clicking the link below. You will get access to first-class information far earlier than the rest. We have prepared a special deal for all our members where you can access a giant pool of Robert Kiyosaki's financial wisdom for just $1. To find out more, simply click the link below and join our Insider Club absolutely free. But there is more you can and should do. Build up several streams of income. More and more people realize that they have to take their future in their own hands, but they don't know how and where to start. We from Compact offer our Insider Club members unique opportunities. Strengthen your financial muscle and get the edge. Click the link below. Become part of our free Insider Club. No financial obligations. But there's one important thing you have to know. You have to become active. So do it now. Become active and see you on the other side.